into the second game between myself and Odette in round of 16 of the Red Cup. And this time it's a really strange map here. We see Portuguese versus Indians. We see kind of a standard start with 2 elephants, goats, stone, castle, 3 villas. We do start with a castle and some Gaia tents. A lot of ostriches here, so I didn't quite see the map here. Yeah, her map looking quite good. We have 2 berry patches, but one of her berry patches seems to be bugged in, so she's missing some berries. She does have a really huge wood line and gold in the back. Stone, gold. Yeah, look at all that wood. There's some deep fish over here. All of this is still Odette's island. So as you can see, I have my small little island and all the rest of the map. All of this is connected to Odette's island. There's a huge amount of wood here on this small island. But of course, if you land it, there's nowhere that you can make a lumber camp. And for the rest, almost all of the wood is on our side. Because if you look at my island, small wood over here, small wood here. And well, these are decent wood lines, which I am going to take later on. There's an elephant over here. This might be elephant of Odette. Oh no, she has 2 elephants. Does she have 3? Let's see. No. So there's 2 elephants over there, and my 2 elephants were over here. So there was 1 extra elephant on my island, but was really far away. Portuguese versus Indians. Well, Indians are so strong, they can go for a quick boom, but of course there's water. So since it's a water map, Portuguese, strong navy could be a good option. At this point, like, none of us know what the map looks like. I'm still scouting around here. I'm quickly going to find out that I'm trapped on a small little island, and I was expecting the same for my opponents, but as you can see, Odette's map is a bit different. Also, good scouting from her here. Only problem for her is all the ostriches are on this side of the wood line, but you can just mill it because my ostriches, yeah, they were over here in a way better position. What else did we say? 1 small stone, a big stone pile over there. Some hills. Are a few relics, which are almost all on Odette's island. I think they were, yeah, 1 relic over there, and I think we saw, yeah, a second relic over here. There were 2 relics, and both of them were on the island of Odette. Good border here. Villager count still the same. Both players 12 villagers and 1 military. So, good thing here with the Gaia houses, they give population, so you do not need to make any more houses. Both of us are already at 14 out of 50, which means that we will not have to make any house. That's good. Not getting housed means no villager idle time in the town center. Seems like I got my 2 elephants in faster. And Odette is actually the first one to go out for a dock. So Odette is going to be the first one to go out for a dock. Oh, she made the first dock here. Really good decision with the deep fish close by. 2 deep fish here close by. Really good for her. Because at this point I think I didn't make the dock early, because if you look at my scouting, I see the land here, I see a bit of water, and I immediately see another land. So I was thinking that there wasn't too much water here, so I was thinking that this was all land here, land, and that there was only water with like a few shorefish, which probably wasn't a good idea to dock the outside and go for a fish boom. Instead, I was like taking the shorefish with some villagers. Eventually, I did make one dock in the back here to take the shorefish because there are 6 shorefish here. So I think it was worth it to make 1 or 2 fish there because they were also safe. Yeah. 1 or 2 fish taking shorefish, which are safe from getting killed by the opponents. Odette, on the other hand, will be taking deep fish, and the other deep fish will all be on this side of the map here, all on the left hand side. You can see a lot of deep fish here. It's really a huge amount of food, which could be important later on in the game. Villager count still the same. I think it's important to dock a river like that. Well, the thing is, what do you mean by dock? Do you mean like if I made my dock, which was here, if I made it in the front, like yeah, I could still also make the fishing ships to make the shorefish to take the shorefish, but like on the other hand, at this point you don't really need the water control yet. And also what I feel, if there's like I can see the other side, so even if she goes heavy onto water, I can just go faster to castle or Imperial Age, drop a castle over here, which will even range a lot on her side of the island, go for a dock underneath the castle, and yeah, transport over quickly without having to go for water army. Look at the times here. 11:55, 11:57, both of us clicking up at almost the exact same time, both of us having 25 villagers, and both of us having 2 fishing ships. Fortunately for that, she hasn't really microed her fishing ships, so fishing ships are still taking shorefish, which is the same as mine. I'm taking the ostriches, something that she is not doing. I sent 3 to gold. She has 2 villagers on gold. Check what her scouting looks like. Yeah, so look at this. All of this is her side of the map. She has way more map controls than me, but of course she doesn't know where I am. I could still be over here, or I could be over here. Also, I'm going to look at the extra resources for a second. There's 3 stone pile over here, 3 stone pile over here as well. Is there some extra resource over here? No, there's not. This is one of the standard stones. So it looks like she also has a bit more gold on her island. Do I have 2 gold patches? No, I do not. So at this point I did dock in the outer ring here, and I went for fire galleys instead. So I went for fire galleys. Odette, on the other hand, is going for galleys. So maybe she forgot about Fuel Age fire galleys, because now with the fire galleys I'm going to take a pretty good engagement. Even though I'm fighting uphill here, because as you can see the map, there's hills in the water. So it was really hard to micro, because I'm actually going to lose this 1 fire galley to... Or is it going to survive? There were only 2 galleys here. 22... No, I'm going to win the fight, but yeah, look at that, 12 HP. We'll go for 2 docks. Now Odette is also taking the ostriches just like I was doing. 2 docks here. And yeah, look, she's just microing. And we'll also go up the hill, get the hill bonus. But of course, fighting galleys versus fire ships, not so really good. As you can see, I already also saw the fishing ships here. I did see the deep fish, which is I made more galleys. Here Odette is doing better micro, as you can see. Keep in mind, since I'm Portuguese, I get more HP on my ship, so my fire galleys have 110 HP compared to the fire galleys from Odette, which have 100 HP. So I should be winning the water here quite efficiently, trying to micro the weak fire galley away. I think I'm also going to repair some of my fire galleys here with the villager. Odette also got loom, which I do not, and the villager counts are also the same. So Odette is one villager behind because she got loom. Does have fire ships coming out, and her micro seems to be a bit better, which is why I'm still losing the water even with my Portuguese HP advantage. Okay, I'm the first one to get wheelbarrow. Let's look at my map here. Villager idle. She was idle for a really long time. Got 4 fish there in the back. Ostrich is about to run out. Economy, a lot of food. And gold. I could be clicking up to the castle age, which I am not doing. Don't know why. Oh, that's resources. Well, she's lacking the food. Because unlike me, she wasn't that heavy on the shorefish. Look at this here. I have one villager constantly repairing this one fire galley. She was repairing the ship for so long, and it really helped me to take the advantage back here. Eventually it will be going down, but yeah. There we go, villager going down as well. Odette now making defensive watchtowers. So she's making watchtowers, which will prevent their fishing ships over here. At this point, I kind of gave up on the water because I had so much economy, and I was going for the market, go up to the castle age, and I was thinking about, well, not really going for water since, like I said, it's so close here, so I could just go for transport instead and send over my units. I am the first one to click up the castle age with 34 villagers. Now Odette here is going to do the same, repair the fire galley. I should have been making some demos here. It would have been way better. She is still doing her fire galleys, even adding some more fishing ships. Let's look at her economy. Yeah, she's heavy on stone. It's really a lot of villas on stone. And she's getting wheelbarrow a bit later here. Yeah, look at that army numbers. She has so much army now compared to me. 9 versus 3. And I think, okay, here you can see me finally making demo rafts. I should have done that a lot sooner. Was a bad idea by me. But eventually I did think about it. Now you can see me heavy on stone as well. No farms compared to Odette that has a good amount of farms. She's now going for blacksmith markets, so she will be up to castle age just almost when I reach it. Getting a good demo shot in here, but not killing any ships, and my dock will go down before the second demo raft comes out. So at this point I lost water control. I'm docking on the left hand side here, hoping that she does not see it, but unfortunately for me she has a house right over there, so she can see my dock going up, and she could have gone forward. Yeah, it's looking really bad for me. So she's also on the way to castle age. She's getting scale boarding, she's making stables. Well, she's making a barracks, but she's going to make stables pretty soon. And what am I going to do? I'm going to drop a castle. I'm going to drop a castle. Already have fletching. Just to try and get the water control a bit back. Could have maybe placed it 1 or 2 tiles forward. Of course I didn't know about their towers. The range 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I could have placed the castle 2 or 3 tiles more forwards. So I'm going into demo raft, getting war galley upgrades. So I can get upgrades for my demos. Which is good army number, as you can see here. Military 2, only 2 for me, 2 demo rafts versus 11 military from Odette. Odette also, let's look at her economy, still 1 town center at this point. Let's see what she does when she castle age. She's going to make town center over here instantly, I presume, since she deleted the mill. She's buying wood. She did not have enough wood for a second town center. So she was using up all her wood on ships. And it's taking more. Huh. Yeah, she also has a lot of food. So she's making stables. She killed the elephant over here. Something I missed. She's using her fire ships to kill the elephant. Maybe it was a misclick, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Okay, wonder what the plan is here. Making another mining camp, getting bloodlines. Meanwhile, I'm still 1 TC, adding in farms. Making demo ships now, instead of the demolition rafts. So she's going for transports, which of course I cannot see at this point. She's going for a second lumber camp instead of a second TC. Interesting, I thought she was going to boom up a bit more. She's going for 2 stables. 2 stables. I'm trying to get my water, my attack on water back. I'm going in with only 2 demo ships. And this was just to try and snipe some fire galleys. And I had this one on the attack stance, which is why it ran into the fishing ship there. Yeah, still not scouting the site. I should have made a dock over here and also scouted a bit more on the left hand side, but of course don't really know what the map looks like. I probably thought that this was like land towards the end of the map. I think she's building a second town. No, still no second town center. She's actually going 3 stables. She was really going heavy here. 3 stable camels. I think as Indians I would have preferred to boom up a bit more. Thanks for casting all the games from tournaments. Shh. Yeah, and here this is really big for me. So I sent in the fire ships and I spot the transports. Spotting the transport is so huge here at this point in the game. Why? Because I can start walling up. So I'm starting to wall up here. 2 tiles of stone wall, and then this side is completely safe. I'm going to make fire ships and then mission ships to keep on this side so she cannot transport across. So getting that fire ship out was really huge to stopping her attack here, because now she made so many camels in the castle age, which really wasn't, well, it's quite for nothing actually. If she had boomed up, she would have been in a way better position here. Still does have a lot more villagers than me. I had quite a lot of idle time. 13 villagers behind actually, that's quite a lot. Quite a lot for me. But I do have the water control back. I'm already on the way to Imperial Age. I was going 1 TC Imp, trebuchets to take out towers, going for war galleys to get them water control back and just prevent her from transporting. So now Odette lost the water. He has a lot of land army, which he cannot really use at this point. Look at the kid, he's so much in my favor, 38 to 16. Yes, Ray, that's correct, 20 GMT. So I have war galleys here fighting versus towers, throwing away some units here. Shouldn't have been doing this, should have kept them on the side, maybe used one to scout around a bit more on the map. So I will be in Imperial Age, but with almost a 20 villager difference. I do have water control. She has land army. Let's look at the look at my resources. 1.7k food. That's such an unbalanced economy. So much food. Immediately queue up like 10 villagers. I think I at one point dropped down a second town center just because I got the resources for it, and just because I got the food to queue up more villagers. Now that's resources. She also has a lot of wood and gold, but not a lot of food. Okay, did miss this. She did make a second town center over here. Taking even the shorefish. At this point, the water control is coming in for me, using a trebuchet to take down the towers. Have some fire galleys over here, which I could use to snipe potential transports. So at this point, I was feeling pretty confident. I had the water. I felt like I had a decent economy. Of course, I didn't know that I was like 20 villagers behind. It was really big, getting Galleon, Bracer, Conscription, all the range upgrades. Going to take out the towers. Take out some of these hoses. Yeah, at this point still, all that army she made early Castle Age didn't really do anything for her. So, 2 town centers, has 20 villager leads. Just look at her resources again, a lot of gold. She needs a lot more farms, but she doesn't really have the space for it. So, on her side of the map, she did have a lot more wood than I did. But because of that, she didn't really have a lot of space to make farms. And it's a bit unfortunate for her that she didn't make like docks on this side, because there's so many deep fish here that could have really helped her out. I think this is the first time that I'm scouting this side. Yeah, I think I'm sending like 1 weak galley over here to scout, and now I can see the deep fish. And I'm going to send it like over here to this corner to check what the map looks like. Should have done it way sooner. Because now I see all the deep fish, and I'm just going to be like, well, I got the map control. Let's just make a dock over here and make some fishing ships. And then don't reseed the farms and just send everything to woods. Already taking some villagers off of the farms here. Still good naval army, even pushing in against the towers. Transport out. But I don't have any upgrades on my land units. Let's see what that is doing. Mining camp over here, near the gold. She is selling wood, buying food, and she went to the Imperial Age as well. So at this point, the game is still not lost for her. She will also be in Imperial Age. She will have a better economy than me. And with a small gap, it could be quite easily to transport across. So I wanted to tech into infantry units. So I was going for like, my plan was to go for like champion and halberdier composition. Just focusing on the towers and the docks here on the side. I think I'm also making a transport ship. Where was the transport ship? Oh yeah, it's over here. So I'm going to relocate some villagers to this side, make a dock over here, so we can get efficient fishing in. And also I wanted to try and get some more map presence on her island. Since this is all connected to her island, I thought that I could build up an army over here, so I did not really have to land on this side. So she's getting blast furnace, heavy camel, masonry even. Still 2 town centers for her. I'm adding in more and more fishing ships. Let's look at the resources from Odette again. Yeah, she's going for trebuchets. The economy is a lot more balanced now. She has a lot of everything. Almost 3k wood, almost a 1k food, good amount of stone and gold. And she does have the extra stones on the map. She's getting siege engineers early, which is a really important upgrade to get 1 extra range on their units. And this is really good for her. She's using mangonels and eventually onagers to take down my ships here. think I didn't spot this. Okay, not getting the kill. Made some demos. Making some infantry units there now with my two-handed swordsman. That's selling 1,000 woods. So here she's trying to send some villagers forward, but I have some ships over here to deny it. Made some more docks over here to queue up fishing ships. Going heavy for the fish boom. Of course, as somebody who played a lot of Nomad, always make a lot of fishing ships. As you can see here, 12 fish, all on the side taking the deep fish. Transported across some villagers, some two-hand swordsmen. Also going to transport across some of my trebuchets, and this is really good for her. She's using the onagers really well to destroy the wood line here, and she's also going to use the onagers to kill my ships. So my ships have 10 range versus the 9 range from the onagers. I almost have no land army, so they are just going to get completely destroyed. Here you can see the onager shots on my ships, and I totally missed this. I had no idea of my ships getting destroyed here. It's microing away the weak onager really well. 6 HP going back. Cleaning up my forward and try to wall in my villagers. And go for Halberdier. But yeah, she had trebuchets out. She's going to take out all these buildings. Get some demo ships up. Hits in on the camels. All these ships are going down to the onagers. Really well played from her. And now, yeah, look at the economy. 69 villagers for me versus 93 villagers from Odette. I do have 24 fishing ships, which are getting in a lot of food. I think food is like my main resources right now. Making more houses over here. I think I'm going to make like 4 buildings. Yeah, I'm going to make outposts and barracks. Odette, on the other hand, has Imperial Camel destroying my trebuchets. It's taking out my docks. And yeah, she's playing this really well, coming back here. Now she's building a castle. Where was she making the castle? Okay, she's making the castle over there on the hill. Doing some more micro versus my ships. Did spot this forward villager trying to make more barracks. Fortunately, my production buildings on her island got denied. Thinking about adding in more docks and go heavy into Galleon to try and keep the water control. Yeah, she's just doing a good job here. Use trebuchets, take out my docks and my castle, using the onagers to take out my ships and the camels as kind of a meat shield. Selling wood. Selling a lot of wood actually. Don't remember if I sold a lot of resources. Now let's look at the resource on my islands. Got some wood over there, some bit of stone left, a bit of gold left. And all the rest is just me taking the wood lines. Going heavy into Halberdier since she is full into camel. So at this point she kinda destroyed most of my naval army. She's going to dock and will be trying to transport across to my side of the island. Me trying to micro down the onagers, trying to stop the dock from going up, but the dock will not be denied. Trebuchets will be firing on my ships here. And I will have to go back, making a lot of barracks on my side of the island. Trying to go heavy into Halberdier to try and defend. I think I should have maybe added some demos to try and snipe potential transport ships. Even getting the unique tag. What does a unique tag do? Hand cannons +1 range, yeah. So she's going for hand cannons and Imperial Camage. Imperial Camel, sorry. Hand cannon, Imperial Camel, Onagers, Trebuchets. She has way better army composition than me here. I'm expecting the transports, so I'm already walling up here. And just going full Halberdiers. Still behind on score, villager count, still behind the villager count, also making barracks here on her side of the island, which I will be using to raid later on in the game. But yeah, her army composition is looking so good, she's even making elephant archers. Imperial Camel, and here she goes, she's transported, use the trebuchets to take down the buildings here. She's going to transport across the Imperial Camels, and even though I have Halberdiers, Imperial Camels will still do pretty well. Did make a demo, but I actually killed the empty transport ship instead of the full one. There's a hole, of course, there's a hole. And I'm losing villagers, mangonels, all the Halberdier died like flies. And she even has villagers on my side of the island right now. Desperately trying to make a defensive castle here just to protect my wood lines over on this side. Here on the sides, not really that much of an economy. And yeah, no, losing even more villagers, 30 villagers behind. 30 villas behind, making halberdiers, but Imperial Camels are just so strong. They can even easily deal with halberdiers in low numbers. So I'm counterattacking on the left side as well, sending in my ships and my halberdiers. It's getting bracer, now she's going to transport over more army. And killing some villas here, takes her a while before she notices this attack. But she's completely destroying me now. She's pushing hard on my island over here. She has a foothold, she has the better army. And it's really tough for me to fight here. I'm just going full halberdier. And at this point she has so many elephant archers that my halberdiers are almost getting one-shotted. Now even the siege is coming over. And here I'm panicking a bit. So my food eco is the fishing ships. And I just need more wood economy. So I think at one point I'm adding in transport ships. Don't know when this exactly is happening. Going to make another defensive castle here, protecting my economy. Getting capped ram. Just for the push here on this end side. At this end side I'm actually focusing more on pushing on her island than I am on defending my own. Killing quite a few villagers here, killed most of the villagers underneath the town center, getting capped ram in to soak up the arrow fire from the elephant archers and also to take out the buildings. Yeah, this castle went down really fast, wasn't really repairing it. Even though I had stone for it, I still had a lot of gold compared to Odette, which she was making mainly gold units. I was kind of making only trash and saving up my gold. Here we go, here's the mass exodus. Like, I have no more gold left on my island. There's one small stone pile, not really anything. So the only thing I have on my island right now is wood economy, sorry. So I only have wood villagers. And I was like, well, do I actually lead my island anymore? There's nothing here that I really want. So I'm going to make transport ships. Going to transport across and try to get this wood line. And even take her gold on her island. Because there's gold over here, which I saw gold over here. Oh no, sorry, it already got taken. This is like the only gold left on the map at this point. Yes, it is. I'm prioritizing getting her gold. I'm repairing the castle just to delay her push for a bit. But she has such a strong foothold on my island right now, and she will just push in really hard here. Meanwhile, trying to do some damage on her side. I'm getting Onager as well. Onager to cut inside to her base here. I wanted to cut these trees with onagers just so I could send in the halberdiers to the main part of her economy, since I couldn't really push in from this side with the two castles here and the onagers defending it. So this is really unfortunate. She's taking down my castle with one trebuchet that's on 22 HP. Should have sent villagers to take down that trebuchet. Still a lot of idols here for me, 25 idols. Population about the same though, because I killed so many villagers of her on the left hand side here. Now making barracks, cutting the wood line with the onagers. Still, but that's resources. Yeah, she's really using up most of her resources, while I still have 1k wood and food. She's going into pikemen as well now, and she's just going to completely destroy my part of the island here. She's going to kill all these villagers here. She's going to kill everything that's over here, and I'm just going to send away all my villagers. Now I'm over here. Captram, halberdiers, onagers. Going to hit her economy even more. Even more population at this point, just because I got a bit more military. But look at the KD here. She has almost 100 more units killed than me. Where did all my villagers go? Yeah, they're still idle. Finally transporting them across. Captran's going after the castles, but she does have onagers to defend. Halberdiers taking out quite a few villagers. So at this point only 46 villagers for me, since all of these guys are dying pretty fast. But like I said, I'm just leaving my islands because there's not really anything there to stay. Like if you have a farm economy, it's really hard because you need to relocate and make a lot of farms, and it takes a while before the food comes running in. But I had the food from the fishing ships and I only needed the wood. I think I'm transporting to this side first. So I did a good amount of rain. She's at 55 villagers. And the resources, no gold for her. And there is no place that she's taking gold. Also, there are 2 relics. I think she has 1. Yeah, she has 1 at the moment. And then there's 1 more relic over on the right hand side. Organ guns. Just some organ guns I made to kill the Captran, which was taking down my castle. And yeah, at this point, even though I'm losing my entire base right here, I was still feeling quite confident, since I had water control, I had all this free food, and I'm relocating on her island here. As you can see here, I'm making TC on her island to get the wood I need, and we'll also be taking this gold. We'll prioritize getting the relics, while at the same time still spamming and trash into her economy to delay her production. Because look at this, she has 42 villagers, but if we go to her point of view and look at what's working, she has 3 farmers. 3 farmers and 14 lumberjacks. That's the only resources she has coming in. So she has almost no resources coming in, which means that she will eventually run out of resources. She is now finally making new economy on my islands. If you compare to me, I got 22 fishing ships, 22 lumberjacks, and 18 idols, which are getting transported across. Trying to push back here, making some honors to defend first full halberdier. Still has her 2 castles up on her side of the island, so that's really good for her. Taking out the dog there. And yeah, this is such a messy game. It's really a base trade. She could have pushed in harder here, she threw away all those pikemen to the organ guns and the castle fire. Looked at all those dead buildings that were all those dead pikemen from Odette. Yep, you're now taking the gold. I'm the only person with gold at this point, making a monastery to get that relic from her. Now mixing in some two-handed swordsmen, since she is going for the pikemen. So I do have this Corley. She has a lot of army, but it's on my original island where I don't have any economy left. She might think that my economy is over here, since I have these two castles protecting it. She is transporting over more villagers, it looks like. And yeah, here at her, she only has a few lumberjacks. So yeah, what's the point at this? Well, I think she should have maybe prioritized taking out this here. I think maybe sending back her elephant archers to deal with the halberdiers and her base here. If she transported over some elephant archers to this side, she could have completely killed all these halberdiers, which I was spamming into her economy. Then she could add in more villagers to remove them a bit. Because, yeah, like I said, almost all of her army is on this side. Finally making some more siege to take out the castles. But yeah, like I said, there's nothing here on my island. Even having the villager lead here, I didn't really realize that I had the villager lead at this point. 44 versus 37. Getting the rebellions in. And at this point, I didn't really felt like I could still lose this game. I had the gold. She didn't really have the economy. I could see her rebuilding here with my outpost, which I built early in the game. Getting the relics for gold. I'm walling this off just because I don't want her to come in and raid. Because this is all of my economy, my wood eco right here. Massing up the halberdiers, massing up halberdiers, going with bombard cannons to snipe the castles from her. And Odette, she's still mainly focusing on this side here, all of our army still over on my original islands. Now military count, I even have more military at 56 to 37. She just does not have enough economy. I think she should have sold some more wood, maybe make an onager. But of course bombard cannons counter the onagers. And yeah, at this point she has nothing to fight here on her own island. She's going to lose everything on her own island. She will have my island, but there's only a bit of wood and some farms there. Meanwhile, I got the water, I got the free fishing ships, getting all those food in, I got the relics, still got some galleys left. I'm even using this trebuchet to cut over here, so I'm cutting the trees so I can fit the lumber camp over here. And we got 130, 78 population, transporting away all her economy. Taking out my houses, and this is why I desperately needed to make more houses. Let's speed it up a bit, since I think we can all see where this is going. take out the castle, and there's nothing here from her on this island, just some production buildings which she isn't really using. Speaking of farms on our side of the map. That's true, I think the problem was, I think the first problem for her was not booming up. I think if you're Indians, she should have gone for a really big boom, which she didn't use. She tried to go for a castle age aggression transport over camels, but I did spot the transport in time. If I had not spotted transport, or if she transported earlier, the game would have been completely different. And like I said in the end, I just noticed that there was nothing on my island except for wood. So I transported away earlier, and yeah, here, like, she has no gold, she has no way coming back. Twenty more villagers, but also army 70 versus 42. You can see here, I'm even on this island where all the wood is. Use my trebuchet, cut space for lumber camp. Still got my fishing ships working. Really got in a lot of food this game for me. Got my galleys, which I'm going to try and use to snipe potential transport ships from her. Go even getting coinage. Town patrol 1 hour in. Bombard cannon going around. And I'm going to go to her fog of war, what she sees. So this is the only thing she sees here. She does know about economy on her side of the map. She knows I got the relics. Transport ships, which are her last military units, and she's calling the GG. So yeah, that was a really strange game probably for the people watching. And yeah, I think I was just lucky with all the fisher in the south that she didn't really go to the fish boom, because I think the fish boom really worked out for me. Let's see, can I switch to my point of view? Okay, I got 8k wood at this point. 8k wood. Just because I prioritized getting the wood lines. Check the achievements real quick. Yeah, she had a way better KD, of course. Better army composition for her. But resource collected about the same though. Did have more gold. But I was just spamming trash getting the map control in. And this is also huge, 70% versus 96 map exploration.